My name is Vinayak and today I'll be telling you my presentation of life and goals. The life goal is to get a goal. So, goals should scare you a little and excite you a lot. That is what my personal philosophy is on goals and things. Okay. My personal goal and final goal is to be a sports scout. From this batch, what I've learned, that's the what I want to implement it to it in my life. The topics that are covered going to be perspectives, change, habits, focus, growth mindset, smart goals, procrastination, and prioritization. So for the class 1 and 2, we learn what perspectives are, and the right perspective makes the impossible possible. How different people have different perspectives, and neither one is wrong. I mean, A could have a perspective that popcorn is good, and B could have a perspective that popcorn is not good. Now it's your choice which one you think is more useful and not useful to have and implement in your life to yourself. Habits. Class 3 was all about habits, what they are, how to make them, and the importance of them. All people are the same, only their habits differ. That's what I think makes and breaks a person, the habits inside of a person themselves. Okay, so in class 4, in the next class, we learned about focus, and the key to success is to focus on goals and not your obstacles. And it's a really important trait to have, and it's useful for all types of learning in your life. Now, class 5, it was all about growth mindset, and it tells us how to have a growth mindset and that we should always be positive, and just because you found your talent yet, it doesn't mean you don't have one. Have a growth mindset. So this was all about growth mindset in class 5. Class 6, it was about smart goals and how to make them a reality. We need to know that a goal is smart. It has to be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time based. So that's what really smart goals are. And if a goal that we have, if we can put it into all of these boxes and have it tick all of these boxes, then we can turn a goal into something that we can do a reality and something that can be achieved by us. Now, class 7 was about procrastination, and I think that procrastination is a thief of time. It's about prioritizing the important things, while most people, what procrastination is, they prioritize unimportant things. And we talk about time management, which we need really in this day and age because time management is a skill that's really important. Now, class 8 was the time matrix, and this is really important and by far my favorite concept that we learned so far. So, in the time matrix, this is like a distance and displacement graph, normal graph. This is the x axis, the importance, and the y axis is the urgency. Now, this is the high and this is the low for the importance, and this is the low and this is the high for the urgency. And then in the importance, if something is high in importance and high in urgency, it is something that we have to do right now at this second. Like if let's say you have an exam tomorrow, then it is really important and it's really urgent. So it takes that and you have to do it right now at this moment only.
1 minute more.
Now the next thing in the time matrix is something if it's in low urgency and high importance. Maybe you have your exam 1 month later, so you can do it next after prepare for your exam tomorrow. And then the third thing is that it has high urgency but low importance. Something like you have a cricket match today and you really want it. It's urgent today because the match only happens today, but it's not important to you in any way, shape, or form. So that's something we do last after doing all of our important work and leisure activities. And the fourth is something we do never. With low importance and low urgency, these are things called time wasters like Instagram, video gaming, watching TV, movies, etc. Now, I want to thank you all for watching my presentation, and I want to end with a quote. Goals are important, and a goal without a plan is just a wish. Thank you.
You is of all those things that we have learned in this module of focus and time management, which aspect did you find most crucial and how did you apply it in your daily life?
So according to me, procrastination and prioritization was the most important one because it's really important to me. Because I know sometimes when I come home from school and I've been given school homework, I decide maybe I can do this later. Right now, let me watch a movie, and then tomorrow the teacher says that you have to submit your copies or anything, so you have to do it overnight and everything. And I feel like maybe if I'd done this yesterday, then it would have been easier for me. So that's why I use that in my daily life. I have like an importance chart of things that are important and I have to do them today. Like I have a chart where I write what things I have to do today and things that maybe can be done over this week. So that's sort of what I implement into my life so that I can have a more like versatile and I don't procrastinate as often because I know what I have to do and everything.
My screen.
Yes, we can.
Okay, so hi everyone, my name is Heaven and today I'm going to be briefly explaining about what we learned in our second module, which is focus and time management. So the first thing we learned was perception. We learned that different people perceive different things differently and that the same scenario can be interpreted in a positive and negative way. But taking it in a positive way is what is called growth mindset, which we'll be getting into later. Just like she thinks it's a 6, but he thinks it's a 9, but both are not wrong. Then we learned about change and transition. We learned that we can achieve any change we want by having patience, practice, willpower, affirmations, and consistency. So basically, if you want to achieve a change, the first thing you need to have is patience. You don't expect to get the results immediately. You have to wait. Maybe it's 3 months, or if it's a long-term goal, maybe it's 3 years. And you need to practice for it. You can't just sit and have patience. You need to work for it. You need to have willpower. You need to keep doing affirmations. And the most important one, you need to be consistent because then only you can see the change in yourself. Then the next thing we covered was habit formation. We learned that to form a habit, we have to do it regularly. I actually remember the assignment that was given for this class. We had to form a new habit and I started waking up early in the morning. So I woke up for a few days and then one day I slept through the alarm, but I didn't give up. I started getting up again the next day. So I learned that being consistent is key because if I had just stopped it, then I wouldn't have that good habit right now. Then we learned about the art of focus. We learned that focus helps us achieve our goals. And to help us understand the art of focus, we also learned about attention, concentration, willpower, and determination, which is also really important in helping us achieve our goals. Next, we learned about growth mindset. We learned that whatever the situation is, we should always be responsive, not reactive. So when you are put in a situation, don't be reactive, don't get angry. Just take 2 minutes and think about what you can do. And then the situation automatically becomes better. The situation really depends on how you handle it because there are two sides for every situation. But when you handle it in a positive way, that is what is called growth mindset. Then we learned about SMART goals. So we learned how to turn our goals into SMART goals. So it must be specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and time bound. So if my goal is to read a book and I'm someone who doesn't read, first of all, I have to be specific. I have to choose the book. I can't just say I want to read a book. I have to choose the book, the name of the book. And then measurable, I have to track every day how many pages or chapters I read. And then actionable, is this something I can do like on my own? So I have to, if it's something I can do on my own, then I have to work for it. Is it realistic? If I want to finish reading 3 books in a week, that's obviously not realistic because I'm a first time reader. So I have to choose something which is more realistic. And time bound. So I have to put a time when, like, if I want to complete it within 1 week or a month or 3 months, because that motivates us to achieve our goal. Procrastination. So we learned about the pros and cons about procrastination. So first, the pros of procrastination are you will be free at that moment. You can continue doing like whatever you want. If you're watching TV, you can continue doing that. You don't have to do whatever you have to do. But later you will have to pay the price. Like maybe you miss or forget an important deadline. Like you had to submit an assignment at school and you forget about it because you put it off for the entire weekend. It also increases stress and it mostly the outcome, it ends in poor results. Like you have potential to do much better, but you don't because you put it off for till the last minute and you do it in such a hurry that it doesn't end up as good as it can if you had just taken a little more time for it. Prioritization. We learned how to prioritize our tasks. So we have to do the tasks which are more important and spend most time with those other than the ones which are not very important. So if it's important and urgent, we have to do it. If it's important but not urgent, we can decide, we can like put it off for a little bit, but you have to fix a time to do it later. If it's not important but it's urgent, we can delegate it. We can ask someone else if they can do it for us. But if it's not important and not urgent, we should automatically delete it, because that's just wasting our time. Like watching TV, playing video games, those are all time wasters. So we should eliminate it from our lives. Thank you. Thank you for listening to me. And I hope